Hi everyone, please take note of the following disclaimer. Please note that this video is for informational, educational, and entertainment purposes. It does not constitute financial advice. We are not registered financial advisors. So in terms of the RRSP taxes withdrawals, how exactly does that work? Well, in short, to make things very easy, everyone, RRSP withdrawals, although you could do them at any time, it's really designed to withdraw later at retirement. But if you do withdraw, it will be treated like regular income. It will be taxed like regular income. So like salary income, rental income, etc. And if you're doing it with, the RRSP, there could also be immediate withholding taxes as well. And that depends on your province. And unlike the TFSA, whatever comes out of the RRSP, you can't put in, you don't gain that contribution room back as well. So that's another that's another difference between the TFSA and RRSP. Of course, the exception is for the home buyers plan and lifelong learning plan, which you got to pay back. That's an exception. But in general, everyone, RRSP withdrawals are going to be taxed like regular income. So it really depends on your province and tax bracket on how that's going to be taxed, right? So if you are, let's say you do have an emergency, and you're in a high tax bracket, let's say you're in this one here making over 150,000. If you withdraw from your RRSP, it's going to be at this tax rate, right? It's going to be taxed like regular income. So the whole point of the RRSP is to do it when you're in retirement, everyone. That's really the whole objective, right? So when you retire, you're most likely probably going to be in a much lower tax bracket. So let's say you go to this tax bracket here. Well, those withdrawals, instead of paying 44.97, you're going to be paying 23.15, less, pretty much close to half of that, right? So the whole point of the RRSP, it's really to accumulate everything in there, grows tax-free. When you take it out, yes, it's taxed like regular income, but the point is to do it when you're retired and you're in the lower tax bracket, so you pay less tax. So how do you do it? What is the schedule? Well, like it says here, funds must be converted to a RRIF or an annuity by age 71. So by age 71, within the year that you turn 71, you have to, by the end of the year, turn your RRSP into a RRIF. So the RRIF stands for, I believe it's Registered Retirement Income Fund. Pretty sure. But essentially, there's not much difference that happens when you turn your RRSP to a RRIF. You're still going to have the same investments. It's still under your name and everything. But now when you have a RRIF, when the RRSP is converted into a RRIF, you're mandated, you have to start taking out some of it. How much, you ask? Well, that depends on your age. So I am on the CIBC RRIF minimum withdrawal chart. This is the minimum withdrawal, everyone. When the RRSP is transformed into a RRIF, technically you could take out as much as you want. You could take it all out if you want. But again, remember that it's going to be taxed depending on your province and tax bracket, like regular income. So basically, this is my personal opinion here. If you're doing it gradually, like let's say you retire at the age of 65, right? So the minimum payout percentage, or the minimum percentage that you have to take out of your account, is 4% if you're at 65. And as you could see, the percentage goes higher and higher. Just remember that you're mandated to turn your RRSP into RRIF and start withdrawing by age 71. What does that mean? Well, let's say you're 71, you did the right thing, right? You've contributed to your RRSP your whole life. Your investments have done really well. Your RRSP now turned into a RRIF is worth overall, let's say $1 million, right? So $1 million, that means at age 71, you need to withdraw the value, 5.28% of the value of the RRIF, of the account. So $1 million, what's 5.28% of it, right? It's $52,800. So within that year, you have to take out $52,800, right? And that $52,800 is going to be taxed according to your province and tax bracket, like regular income. But of course, you're going to be retired, so hopefully, most probably, likely, you'll be in a lower tax bracket and pay less tax on it than if you were, still working. So that is essentially how the withdrawals work. So just to sum up, withdrawals are taxed like regular income. So how much you pay really depends on your tax bracket and province. You could take out as much as you want. You could take out earlier. And by the way, you could also convert your RSP to a RIF whenever you want. You could do it at 65. You could do it at 60. You could do it at 55. And the younger you are, the smaller the percentage is. The actual formula for the percentage is 90 minus your age. So let's just prove that the 65 is done. So you do, the 4% is for 65. So if you do 90 minus 65, that's 25. And then you do 1 divided by 25, right? So 90 minus your age, then you do 1 divided by that number, which is, you could see 0.04 and percentage-wise. So you do times 100, you get 4, right? So let's say you convert your RSP to a RIF at 55. Well, then you would do 90 minus 55. That's 35. So if you do 1 divided by 35 times 100, the percentage would be this right here, 2.85. So obviously, as you're younger, the percentage is lower. As you get older, as you could see from this withdrawal chart, the government wants its share of taxes, right? So the older you get, the more you're mandated to take out more. And this percentage, again, is based on the actual value of your RIF that year. So that's pretty much how the withdrawals work from the RRSP or from the RIF. So essentially, like we talked about in the first episode, it's really designed to start taking out our retirement when you retire, when you're in a lower tax bracket. And you could pretty much take out as much as you want, but there is a minimum. And by 71, you have to convert your RSP to a RIF and start taking out the minimum, which is 5.28% of the value of the RIF for that year. And normally, depends who you're with, but normally brokers will let you could have the lump sum in one shot, right? If we go back to our example, if you have $1 million, 71, about $52,800, you could get that $52,800 in one shot, or you could have them give it to you monthly. If you want to stagger it, they'll just divide it by 12 typically, and they'll give it to you monthly. But as long as you're taking out 5.28% that year of the value of your RIF, right? So that is pretty much how it works. Now, one big advantage tax-wise that the RRSP has that the TFSA doesn't have is because the RRSP, remember that the RRSP is a retirement account. So one advantage that it has is that there is no U.S. Withholding taxes on dividends within the RRSP or the RIF account. So if you hold a U.S. dividend stock, I'm talking about a fund or a stock that's listed on the New York Stock Exchange, listed on the NASDAQ, right? Like a high yielding covered call ETF listed on the U.S. stock market. Well, if you hold that in a TFSA or a regular non-registered cash account, there's actually 15% withholding tax. But that doesn't exist in the RRSP. The RRSP, because it is a retirement account, the TFSA is not considered a retirement account. Due to a Canada-US tax treaty, there's an exemption. So the exemption applies to the RRSP, the RIF, the LIRA, and the LIFs, but not the TFSAs or RRSPs or the cash account, right? So if you hold US listed dividend stocks or high yield covered call ETFs, for example, in your RRSP or RIF, there is no 15% withholding tax. So that's a big advantage if ever you have some of your favorite high yield funds or some of your favorite dividend stocks. You want to buy them on the US stock market. Well, an ideal place to actually hold those would be in the RRSP, the RIF, the LIRA, or the LIF, because there is no 15% withholding tax. So that's a very important distinction, again, between the RRSP and the TFSA. So in short, everything extractions or withdrawals from your RRSP or your RIF are taxed like regular income, if which really depends on your tax bracket in your province. And again, it's designed to take out when you're retired, obviously, so you'll be in a lower tax bracket. You could take out as much as you want. Just remember, if you take out a lot, that could put you in a really, really high tax bracket. But in my opinion, it's best to take out gradually over time to really supplement your other forms of pension income, if you will. And don't forget that by 71, you're mandated the year you turn 71 to turn your RRSP into a RIF. And what that means is for the RIF, there is a minimum payout percentage. There's a minimum that you have to take out percentage-wise based on the value of your account every single year. So at 71, for example, it's 5.28%. And you could turn your RRSP to a RIF pretty much whenever you want. And the younger you are, the lower the minimum extraction percentage is. And the older you get, the higher it is. Right? So that's how RRSP/RIF withdrawals pretty much work in a nutshell, tax-wise. And don't forget, there's that little detail is if you're holding U.S. dividend stocks or U.S. listed high yield funds listed on the U.S. stock market, there is no 15% withholding tax because of the tax treaty between the U.S. and Canada. But this only applies to retirement accounts, which would include the RRSP, the RIF, the LIRA, the LIF, but not the TFSA, RESP, or other accounts. So there you have it, everyone. That is in short, in general, how the RRSP and the RIF, I guess you could say, work. Let me know if you have any questions. This is a very important account to master if you're Canadian. And the earlier you start, of course, as usual, the better it is. And let me know. And if you have any questions. And in the next episode, we are going to cover the non-registered account. So typically referred to as the cash account. So we'll talk about that account in the next episode. See you in the next one.